Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen, people of the internet? I'm Jordan, and in today's episode, I'm going to tell you something about how you can know if an AI made an image or not. It's called C2PA. So today, I'm about to tell you about something interesting. It's called C2PA. Check your alarm, check your side. I know, tell somebody to subscribe to this. Hey, if you don't know, and if you did, you know, you should subscribe to this. Hey, who is this guy and who is this guy? Oh shit, let me not even rhyme because so I'm just going to spoil it for you. So listen to the episode to learn more about like C2PA, what it means, basically how you can find out when an AI made an image and when the image is made from another human being and where it's made from, basically. Okay, so chill. Hey. So nice, you see, I would have dropped some rap lines there, but let's save it for the outro. Before we get started, I want you to please check the link in the description and subscribe to What's Podcast and Newsletter to get interesting cool shit or other interesting podcasts like this one. Last week, I spoke about banking as a service, and a week before that, I explained how Sora AI works. They are a simple AI generation tool that generates video from text. If you haven't listened to that episode, I suggest you kindly go and listen to that episode to get a sense of how Sora from OpenAI works. So because in this episode, I'm going to be answering 3 questions. And the first one is, why does it matter that a piece of content was made by an AI or a human? The second question is, how can you know if a video, image, or audio content is generated from an AI? As a listener of this pod, I'm sure you already know how really good AI content can be like. If you check Sora episode, you will know. And then the third question is, what is CP2A and how can you tell the difference between human and AI content? Lastly, I'm going to tell you what can dissolve salt and what cannot dissolve salt. With that being said, as we're going into it, I would want to start this episode with a very interesting story. This is where the music comes in, and you're beginning to relax and chill. But yeah. I used to be a small boy, just like most of you listening to this episode right now. And as a small boy, I was not really that stubborn. Some will say it's a lie, but nah. I always found myself doing stubborn things when I was chasing my curiosity. At least, that is when I would break the rules sometimes and do something beyond, what I'm not supposed to do. Where we used to live with my parents, our generator house was not soundproof. So I and my brother's room, which was directly in front of the generator's house, would always hear all the sound that the generator is making. And it would always disturb us. And living in Nigeria as a small kid, the people that want to hear news 8 to 10 p.m., they go hear their news and nothing will stop them. That then buy the fuel. And luckily for us, one of them carried us for 9 months. So there's no bonus where to complain. To answer the first question, right? Why does it matter if a piece of content was made by an AI or a human? Because in the world we live in as human beings, which were overly curious, like me, a 6-year-old boy that would always break the rules just to chase my curiosity, it's easy for people to do things that, how do I know what happened here? If we mix this and mix, what will happen? If we do this and this, what will happen? So humans will always chase their curiosity. Humans will always bring out the 6 years old in them, no matter what. Now with AI, making things and seeing how things should look like is much more easier. Another reason is it's because of history. You see, we live in a world where we learn about ourselves and we know what has happened in the past because the people of the past left us notes of some sort. They told us what has happened. And in the next 100 years, we won't all be here. So it will be helpful to leave human unfiltered history that humans and the people that will live before us can tell what happened to us. If we leave it all to AI, it will be fabricated with some kind of, filter that is not just pure enough. When you make something so unreal, so creative, so mind-blowing that everybody starts asking you, how did you do it? And you say, I woke up and I tried for 40 years and 20 years until it came to me. They would believe you did it, not a cheap AI tool you use in the background. So that's why it matters if a piece of content is made by human or AI. So human credits will not just be tossed away, but rather keep on being valued. Because the line between what humans can make and what AI can make is becoming very blurry. Back to my story. Nice. So one day, I was playing with my friends in compound now, and I stopped to rest. I was about messing now. She get that kind of steez now, scoring goals. So I stopped to rest, and like by the side, they were these guys, they were young adults, they were like my age at that time, and they were just gisting with themselves how they caught one guy in the other compound trying to pour salt inside someone's generator tank. And I was listening to them, I'm like, interesting. And they were all just blabbing about how they caught the guy, they beat the guy chopped merciless beating, different angle of beating like this, collect where. And they didn't really explain as what would have happened to the generator. All they were saying like, the guy won't put salt inside generator tank, this and that, just beat the person. It was just very, very vague information. All I could get was the guy nearly put salt inside generator. And I held that in my mind. I did. But before I go on to tell you more about the story, let me answer the second question. How can you know if a video, image, or audio content was generated by an AI? Number 1, look closely at the hands or the eyes. See, AI doesn't really know how hands should work and look to the full degree. At least most of the current AI definitely will get better at it by the time you're listening to this podcast in 2025 or 2026. But right now in 2024, if you check the hands, if you check the eyes, you will see that they are not always correct. They're just in a way that feels off. So yeah, that's one way you can know. Second is, if it's a video that was generated by AI you're looking at, check the surroundings and the objects within the videos if they have a weird movement. See, AI doesn't understand the world we live in. It doesn't understand physics, because one of my very many theories is that it doesn't live in this world with us, so it doesn't understand the physics of the world. It learns from the theories and papers that we have given it to learn from. You get me? Good. That being said, if you check an object within the video and the object moves in a motion that in a way that it shouldn't move real life, that's not CGI, that's AI. I didn't rhyme. Leave that aside. So you should just check out for stuff like that. And for an extra point, it's called provenance. It's just a fancy way of saying content credentials. You understand better, but in the meantime, just have that word in mind, provenance. Now, I'm almost done with the story. So, I had this gist from this man, and I finished playing my ball. I was on my way home, got home, chilled, relaxed. I didn't have my bat, obviously. I was a playful, business small boy. I was just chilling. And then this idea came to me. I was like, what if I put, the salts inside our own generator that is always disturbing me in the back? What was going to happen? And prior to that evening, in the morning, we had yam and red oil. And in every Nigerian home, there is always a big bag of rice under the shelf and a small bowl of rice on the shelf, or a big storage of oil or jerrycan of oil under the shelf, and there's a smaller bottle on the shelf. There's a big jerrycan of red oil under the shelf, a smaller bottle on the shelf. Our parents, our mothers will always do that because it's easy to reach. We had eaten red oil and yam that morning, and red oil has the salt inside so that it match with the yam. What I did was simple. I moved the red oil, I picked up the salt, took a tablespoon, put on my hand, and I was ready to leave. Before I move on, I want you to remember this. Write it down. A Nigerian mother will know what is missing in her kitchen, even if you blindfold her. That being said, I put the salt in my hand, salt, check, proceed to generator house. Now, let me answer the last question. What is C2PA? C2PA means Correlation of Content Provenance and Authenticity. Provenance generally refers to the fact about the history of a piece of digital content, assets, image, video, audio recording, document. It doesn't really matter. But basically, that's what it means, right? What this is saying is C2PA is a way for you to track the history and the details of a certain image, video, or audio content that have been created. Meaning, if somebody in Nigeria creates an AI image that depicts Nigeria living in 2025, we have a good president. We have lights, we have so many amazing things. Super Eagles are winning World Cup. Feminism has become something to write home about. And somebody creates an image depicting the beautiful Nigeria, and you look at it and you are questioning who is the author of this image, who created this image. looking at the provenance of that particular asset, you can see who created it, when they created it, where they created it. Secondly, this C2PA allows for humans to know when an AI made an artwork. Now, many of the big companies are in collaboration with it, from Microsoft to Google to Adobe. These are the big guys, and so many other companies within. I'm going to point out something. There is difference between the C2PA and the blockchain technology. One of the many differences between these two are as follows. Now, distributed ledgers, that's from the C2PA, is a data that can be chained but does not use blocks. While for a blockchain, data is stored in chains, that's blocks. For the distributed ledger, which C2PA uses, it can be encrypted, right? Can be. For blockchain, it is always encrypted. And for the last difference, for the distributed ledger, it can be immutable. While for blockchain, it is always immutable. The difference between these two things is very, very brief, but it's not the same. So a blockchain technology and how you can track who did work and who doesn't do work is very different from the C2PA technology, which uses distributed ledger, but it's not the same thing. You get my point. To cap it all out, I would end with some of the use cases of C2PA and how you should be able to know them. Number one is it helps consumers check the provenance of the media they are consuming. It helps you know, if you see a video on TikTok now, you can check. I will put a link for you to see the tag that allows you to know the history or the provenance of that particular image. If you check the tag, you'll be able to know where is this coming from, who is it coming from. If somebody changes it, you will track it and know who changed it and who did not change it. If somebody collected it again and changed it, you will know. So all of you, drag your ear. All of you that go and steal people UI design, UI graphic design, my brother, they will catch you. They will hold you. You see that changes, you say you change to it, they will know. They will know. So yeah. The second use case is offering publishers an opportunity to improve their brand value. So if you have a publishing house like What's Podcasting, for example, that helps people publish and manage podcasts, even newsletters that we push out. If we put out a design specifically for What's Podcasting, you can know, even if you live in the UK, that, this is coming from the What's Podcasting team in Nigeria. Awesome stuff. Number three is enhancing clarity around provenance and edits for journalistic work. So if a journalist takes a picture from a camera that supports the provenance and credentials tracking, and they put it out, even though they are in Ukraine or wherever they put it, you can know that this is coming from this particular camera in this particular location. So it helps the clarity, so there's no mixture of images and all these things. Number four, which should probably be the last one I'll stop with, is providing quality data for platform content decisions. So now TikTok, Instagram, they can all know where an image is coming from and where it's not coming from, especially when an audio is coming from somewhere where it's not coming from, because it has quality data they can track and know who is putting out rubbish. You see the case of what's her name? The case of Taylor Swift that happened that time, that everybody was like, this is that guy. One time they don't catch him. One time they would have caught him because of things like this. So yeah, this is really, really helpful to the whole community, the creative community and the creative space. That comes to the end of this video. Now, let me answer the question in your head. Did I put the salt in the generator tank? Good. So I took the salt and I walked towards the generator tank, and I had moved the generator tank and I was about to pour it inside. Then the security guy came. I was like, "Hey, David, what's up now? How are you doing?" "I'm fine." I put my hand in my back like nothing was going to happen. I was like, "What are you doing? What's in your hand?" I showed him salt. I was like, "You want to kill the worms there? Let me help you." He collected it and poured it on the worms that were behind the generator. I didn't see anything because I didn't even see the worms. But he poured it there and he told me to go and play with my friends. And then I ran away. I kept quiet and I just walked away. And he never suspected what I wanted to do. I'll tell you what happens when you put salt in the generator. But as I ran back home after playing with my friends, I met the owner of the kitchen, my mother. And then she saw me and she called me, "Come here." I said, "Yes, Mom." "Why did you carry salt from the kitchen?" I said, Mommy, sorry." She was like, "Why are you telling me sorry? You carry salt from the kitchen, you put oil everywhere. There's oil on the door, there's oil on the kitchen handle, there's oil in this place, there's oil. You pirate oil, touch the curtain as you're going out. You think I will not know?" And I was shocked. I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Why did you go and waste my salt?" You carry my salt and be killing worm that did not call you. And she didn't do me anything. She just sent me away. That is an example of how CP2A works. It's like the red oil in this story. It will expose you. They will know if somebody stole your work or if you stole someone else's work. It will help you in different ways to be able to track any movement or changes that was done to any piece of content that was created, audio, video, images. And finally, if you put salt inside a fuel tank containing fuel, nothing is going to happen to the generator. Yes, I know it was not the kind of ending you're expecting, I know. But the truth is, salt does not dissolve in fuel or engine oil. So it will remain there in its state. If there is water in the tank, the water will dissolve it. But if there is no water, it will just remain in its crystal state there. And then until somebody cleans the tank. And if you remove the filter and you pour it inside the tank, it will remain there. It will not go into the engine because it will soak down like sand and just remain there. If by mistake the generator shake, all of you like to bend your gen so that the fuel tank will go up. The fuel will bend small, you will bend your gen, go up, put time and go 90. Those are the kind of people that is one of the crystals may fall into the fuel pipe. And that is when and only when it can damage your fuel carburetor, your engine for the fuel pump itself. But it will not pass the fuel pump. It will block it there. So your engine will still be fine. But do not put sand in your engine oil. That one, another story for another day. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, I'm your host, Jules. So, no, I don't want to rap. Should I just kindly check the link in the description, subscribe to What's Podcasting Newsletter, tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah, with that being said, have listened, may you be blessed. See you on the next one. So what's up, people of the internet, boys and girls? One genuine problem I face as a regular podcast listener is finding another interesting podcast I can listen to. And that can be handful, and all the stress around it. So that's why I bring to you What's Podcasting, people? Yeah, What's Podcasting. So it's just an overall low-bar newsletter that people in tech, gigs, babes, nerds, and maybe your mom would love, that kind of shit. So kindly check the link in the description and sign up to receive 3 new podcast recommendations every week that you will definitely not love. But you can never know unless you try. That's why you're still single. Anyway, don't worry. Bye.